Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Jamie Dean.
And I'm Scott Carroll.
And we are here with another impromptu video game pickups video for Sidescrollin. So Scott has gotten completely fed up with getting no pickups whatsoever, watching me have all the luck, so he has flown himself halfway across the country just to come up here and see what all the pickup business is all about. So we had a really good day out with some op shopping, some second-hand stores, a little bit of toy shopping, a little bit of pawnbroker action, a little bit of everything, didn't we, over a couple of days? Just going out and seeing what we could find to see if we could find Scott any bargains whatsoever. And we did come away with a little bit of stuff, didn't we, Scotty? We've got a few things here.
A little bit, yes. And I must say, it is absolutely sickening the kind of deals that can be had up here that you're privileged to.
I was fully expecting that we would set out and you would just be setting yourself up for massive disappointment. But we actually did end up finding a couple of things. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to show you what we found on our day out. And let's get at that right now because there's a few things to go through. I think what we might do is, do you want to do, like, you show a thing and then I'll show a thing?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Well, you kick us off then. So what's the first place we went to was, we went to a few second-hand stores.
Yeah, a few.
We had no luck, really, in any of those. They had a bit of stuff to look at, but nothing that we happened to want. A couple of things we picked up and thought about in my bookshop and then ended up putting back. Yeah. But the real first pickup I think we came across was in cash converters, right? Is that the first one we got to?
Yes, and that's where it was.
I think we got the bulk of
our stuff
really.
Come from. Exactly. Yeah. No.
What'd you find in
it's all right. Well, I'll just do one at a time.
Yeah.
I'll just do one at a time.
You do one, another one.
So I've played this before on DS, but never actually had a copy of myself, and I was surprised to find it there for $1 and in such good condition and complete. But I ended up picking up a nice little copy of Brain Training.
I've never played Brain Training.
DS. It's a little puzzle game just to test your brain. Like, they have games like Sudoku, which is pretty much all I played when I got it. I can't remember what else is on there.
Yeah.
But it's just a whole bunch of little brain teasing puzzles. Like, there's some math in there and
No, I'm out.
And
I'm straight out.
I didn't touch it. But it's a nice. I still remember the ads for it, and
I do remember the ads. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice little.
Because this was like part of like the launch lineup for the DS, is that right?
I think so.
If I remember rightly, they were really pushing it because they were trying to push it. They were trying to do like the Wii thing where they were like pushing it at everybody, not just gamers.
Yes. I very much think like this is. Yes, this is what I'm hoping to use to stave off Alzheimer's in my old age.
Did this predate smartphones? Do you know?
This did.
It did. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it had to.
I was going to say, because I was wondering like how easy a sell it would be.
2005.
Oh, yeah, okay.
2006 this came out.
Yeah, well and truly then. I don't know how successful it ended up being, like selling the DS to the wider mass market.
The older audience, I think that it was targeting.
You know, like the non-gamer audience.
Yeah,
I don't know how successful they managed to make that work, but... They tried with, and I think Brain Training is one of the things they really were like. Let's see if we can do the Wii thing.
Let's see if we can do it. Yep.
Yeah. So that's complete. Has that got
that's
does it have a manual?
That's.
Oh, it does. Right.
It's got manual. It's got game card. This is the Oz version, and with everything that I check, I always check that it's serial numbered.
Oh yeah.
Here with the Oz, and that it matches the cartridge because I've been burnt before. But yeah, no, it was a fantastic find, and for $1.
For $1.
So good.
You can't make it for that, Scott.
No.
Alright, I found in Cash Converters a game from a series that I have never played any games in this entire series before. And one I've just been really curious about, because I always like watching it be played. It's one of those ones I'm always fascinated by, but never really had the chance or the opportunity to try myself. And that is Super Monkey Ball for the Switch. So this is a re-release. This is Banana Blitz HD, which is a re-release of what? What is that? Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz must have been a game on...
Potentially.
The Wii U, maybe?
Potentially.
I don't know.
It's
It looks like it's a HD remaster of a past game from Sega. Yeah, never tried it before. I asked Scott about it. Scott, you had played it, right?
Yes, I have played. I do actually have that because my partner Sylvia, she likes the Monkey Ball games. She particularly was fond of Super Monkey Ball 2 on GameCube.
Oh wow, yeah, okay.
Which we later acquired after we got this one. It's really fun. It's wacky, but so aggravating.
Yeah, right.
So aggravating. It's
because this is like motion control based, right? Like
control.
you're tilting the controller.
Yep.
To you're moving the level to roll the monkey and the ball around the level, right? It's like one of those sort of like motion skill-based games.
The monkey's basically stationary.
Right.
Really, on the center of the screen, and you're manipulating the level.
Yeah, and you got like flick him to make him jump and stuff.
Oh, those are the worst.
Yeah,
those
right.
are the worst parts because you got to get the right speed and momentum, and then there's those parts where you're going down. You got to tilt it really far down to get him going really, really fast because you got a big jump to make. You flick it at the right moment, and then when he lands, you've only got this small slither of platform to land him on. And if you overshoot, you roll off the top if you don't tilt it back enough. And
it looked like a whole game, just like all about like trick shots.
Yeah,
really, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought it was under $20 for a very good condition Switch game. It doesn't have a manual, but I don't think it ever did. It's just like
I don't recall it having one.
a cart. I mean, no games have manuals anymore. But yeah, for less than $20 for a Switch game for the library, one I've been interested to try. I think Madam will like this one, to at least give it a go anyway and see what it's all about.
Yeah. Has it got multiplayer fun?
Yeah, it does. 1 to 4, right? Yeah. 1 to 4 players. I'd be interested to see how that works. Is that like a race? Or?
I can't remember if you're on the same track at once or if it's like taking turns to see who can get further.
Oh, yeah, okay. Gotcha. Anyway, there we go. Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD. I might even stream a game of it just to try it out, because that could be a bit of a giggle watching me try and monkey ball my way around something. Anyway, that was one of my pickups from our cash converter stop.
Yep.
You got another one?
Okay, I got another one. I got a couple more. So it's surprising enough to see brain training sitting there for $1. I actually found more brain training.
More brain training.
Yep, couldn't get enough.
this brain needs some fucking training.
It does. It seriously does. It does. It is not what it used to be. So yeah, this one I never actually got to play, and I couldn't leave it there like with the first one with its companion right there. And this was $2 at Cashies. So I think because it's like the sequel.
It's
an extra $1.
It's an extra $1
because it's the sequel. So if they made a Brain Training 3, who knows? It could have been $3. But yeah.
Is that complete as well?
This too is complete. So yeah, it's got
nice.
got manual and when I say complete, I mean complete.
Oh, it's got all
it even has the
bits and
health and safety instructions in it. So. Like
proper complete. Wow, that looks like it's never even been opened.
It does. It really does. Same with the other one. It looks like they were bought and just
like unwanted gifts or something that never got used.
Likely. But yeah, so my brain's going to be well and truly trained at some point.
Yeah.
At some point.
Well, maybe we'll see.
We'll see. But yeah. That's a steal. $3 for the two of those.
That $3 for 2 DS games. Yeah. I mean, and not even like like that shovelware crap. Like actual fairly decent launch titles.
Yeah.
For the Switch. For the DS.
For the DS.
Baby
Switch
for $3 for Baby Switch. All right. They were also clearing out pop figures. They had marked down a whole ton of stuff. The day before, I was talking to the guy there. He said just gone round through the store, through all the figures and games, and done a big markdown, like literally the day before we walked in. And so I didn't find any more games that I was chasing on the day, but I did find some pop figures for Nala's collection, and they were all just marked down to clear out. I found a stack of Dragon Ball Z pops. Dragon Ball Z pops, not ones that you see terribly often anymore. When you do, they tend to be fairly pricey because they tend to be new in your shop on a shelf. But these were $5 each. They were just clearing them out, getting rid of them. So I'll show you a couple, and then I'll let Scott go again, and I'll show you a couple more.
You got a fair few.
I did get a few, yeah. So I got Goku, Super Saiyan Goku with the golden hair. Again, was not $15. It was
the price right there.
It was a $5. Look, there we go. Marked down $5. The boxes are pretty beat up, but I don't think they're gonna stay in their boxes anyway. I don't think they're gonna be long.
Not with golden hair.
No, I don't think the boxes are gonna be long for this world.
Mm-hmm.
We got a Bulma, who you can't see very well because it's got a sticker over her face. There she is. And we got casual wear Vegeta with his arms crossed there. I used to have the pink Badman shirt figure of that sculpt, of that cast. But this is the when does he wear that? When does he wear that outfit? It's like early Android.
I can't.
Is it early Android Saga? I can't remember.
It says Super.
It does say Super. You're right. Yeah. Okay.
Super.
Maybe that's at the very beginning of Super.
Yeah,
I can't quite remember.
Some of the pops have Dragon Ball Z, some of them have
True,
Super. So
true,
that seems to be a Super
Anyway,
era.
well there we go. Super Vegeta. Dragon Ball Super Vegeta.
Yeah.
Casual wear. Alright, there's 3 of them. I'll show you the rest in a sec. What's your next one?
My next one. So my next one was a purchase I didn't think I'd make, and honestly, if it was any dearer, I probably wouldn't have. I'm going through a sort of a. Every now and then I go through a bit of a phase where I feel like I need to try a game from a series that was quite popular, just to see what the fuss is about. And one of those game series just happens to be Splinter Cell on Xbox, original Xbox. I have to say original Xbox.
Yeah, right, not Xbox One.
I can't say Xbox One.
Because they fucked that up.
Yeah, they really did. Whoever's in charge of gaming is like I don't know.
Why did they call it the Xbox One?
Because it's meant to be
like the one thing you ever need.
Yes, the one thing you need. Yes, it's your
idiots.
Complete entertainment setup.
Well, that worked out well.
Basically, and I think they did a similar premise with the Xbox 360.
Right.
But I don't know how they came to that as like 360.
360 degrees of your life.
Yeah, maybe some stupid shit like that. But anyway,
yes. This is Chunky Boy, original Chunky Boy Xbox.
With the
Beast.
With the Duke controller.
Yep.
I still reckon it's probably one of the best looking Xbox consoles because it's like Xbox One is a black box.
It looked
literally
like
a black rectangle.
I'll grant you that it did look like a game console, didn't it? Like not many since then have looked like a game console.
Huge,
yeah.
But it looked like.
But it looked like an old-fashioned game console the way we were. Like it didn't sit vertically; it sat horizontally and
horizontally.
Had the big fucking chunky
X with the
top.
Green sphere in the middle of it. Yeah, it is the. I still think it's probably the best looking Xbox console. But yeah, Splinter Cell. I've never given any one of these a go. I got this for $3. I wasn't terribly into stealthy games because I'm not a stealthy person. I pretty much I'm the guy where there's like 6 people.
I'm not a stealthy person. as a person,
there's like
I'm not stealthy.
You know those shows where there's like 6 guys crammed behind a door, just creaking it open slightly because there's a whole horde of bad guys on the other side, and I'm the guy that trips through the door and ruins it for everyone.
I like how like framing like that. I'm clumsy. Yeah. It's like I'm not stealthy.
I'm not stealthy.
I'm not stealthy. If you're a clumsy person, don't phrase it like that anymore. Okay. You're not stealthy. Okay. Does that got a manual in it or no?
I didn't check. It's so it is. I'm pretty sure it's complete.
Oh, nice.
I don't think I would have bought it if it wasn't.
Right.
I have you to blame for this.
Yeah.
Because since Jamie started his collecting, he's been going for complete in-box stuff.
You've got to have it.
When it comes to CD-based stuff, that's generally what I do go for anyway. But it's become a bit more so now since.
Well, it's all about this because we don't get this this here.
No.
We don't get this anymore, right? Like this is like an artifact of yesteryear that a whole generation of gamers have just completely missed out on.
Yeah.
Like you said, like sitting in the back of the car on trips where you couldn't play the game, but you'll take the manual with you.
You couldn't take your chunky
fucking Xbox,
your tube TV and your Xbox into your car when you were a kid.
I got the manuals give me so much nostalgia. Like that's half the fun of collecting for me is
being in that world without actually getting to being able to play the game.
Yeah.
And I remember so many times my mum running into the supermarket and I'm sitting in the car with like the manual from Street Fighter 2 or
Pokemon
Zelda,
was my
Pokemon,
one. Yeah.
Pokemon, studying that type advantage chart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's like I put more effort into that than homework. It's like I gotta get this. I gotta win this league.
You gotta get this down.
I gotta know what I need to take.
Yeah, I think you gotta have the manuals. Like it's just there's something
yeah.
there's something so nostalgic about a game manual for
Going
me.
through a manual.
Yep.
Yep.
So I'm glad that one was complete. And again, $3. That's
$3.
a fucking steal. And
Splinter
Splinter
Cell.
Cell's a classic, you know.
Yeah. I think it's spawned at least 3.
At
games,
least
at
there's
least
there's a few of them. I think I played. I'm trying to remember if I played Splinter Cell 1. I think I tried it. I've got a feeling that I tried it, and stealth games just aren't for me. They're not my cup of tea at all. And I think Splinter Cell might have been one of the games that taught me that stealth games aren't my thing.
Yep.
But again, you think about games, especially Xbox games.
Yep.
Splinter Cell, that series, is one of the first. You know, it's up there. I think in the iconic games for that system.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of the time,
Absolutely.
So to get one of the big heavy hitters of the console for $3, complete in box, that's fucking great. I think.
Yeah. I think when I learnt that stealth wasn't for me was I think the likes of GTA when I'm trying to like subtly rob a place and then all of a sudden.
Fuck it.
like some dude runs out and then I'm just like, oh, that's it.
That's it. You're all getting nosed.
It's just man. Oh crap. And before I know it, I've got 5 stars of tanks after me running through the middle of the city.
Because you're not stealthy.
Yeah, no, not stealthy.
You're not clumsy.
No.
You're just not stealthy.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, a couple more pop figures that I managed to pick up. This one is the main one that I saw that I thought was awesome, and that is OG Frieza. Hard to see again, big fucking price sticker on his face there, but the Frieza in the little pod. OG Frieza, love it.
It's a little.
Yeah, he's one of the. Well, as soon as I saw it, I was like, man, I don't. If Nala doesn't want these, I'm having that one at least. And I'm not a huge pop figure fanatic. I've got a couple of Pokemon ones. I like the way the Pokemon ones look, but I'm not a big, collector of pop figures. But I did like that one, Frieza in the little pod. Yeah. So that was another one for a $5. And my last pickup, I mean, you had to have him, right? As soon as I saw him there, you had to have him, and it's Hercule. Oh yeah! This is Dragon Ball Super Hercule, but he's given the V's there. I don't know if you can. There he is. Look, love it. Okay. Brilliant.
Really need to have the music playing right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Hercule. So good. So that was my pop figure pickups. 5 of each. I left a couple there. There was some there that just like little side characters. You saw Emperor Pilaf there.
Yeah, Emperor Pilaf.
Yeah, characters there that Nala was not that interested in, or I knew wouldn't be that interested in. But I think she'll appreciate having these.
I'm not big into pops either, but if I was and I had a DB set, I'd probably grab Emperor Pilaf because I enjoy Dragon Ball.
I think if I liked pops and I was buying for myself, I would have got them all.
Yeah.
But because I was buying for Nala and trying to just pick the ones that I knew she liked and knew. And I again, like as soon as I saw Hercule there, I knew she would want Hercule for sure. Yeah. She's a big Hercule fan.
You needed that for yourself anyway.
Yeah, true.
if she didn't want, if it wasn't for her, you couldn't leave Hercule.
Yeah, no, I couldn't leave Hercule sitting there for a $5. No way in the world. All right, what was your last Cashies pickup?
My last Cashies pickup. So this is a game I totally missed despite loving. I played this is the 3rd entry in a very popular series on Xbox 360. I think it came out on other things, or was it just?
It was
Xbox?
on the PC. No, it was on the PC. And I think it was purely Xbox or PC. I don't think it came out on anything else.
I played the first one on PC. I did enjoy it. Got the second one. Really enjoyed that. But totally missed the 3rd one, and that was Fable 3 to be precise. So I totally missed this one.
This was like $1, right?
This was
$2.
$2.
Yeah, $2.
So it said 3. They marked it down to 2. Which I thought, I couldn't leave it there because I still have my copy of 2.
Yeah.
I've got to grab a copy of 1 now.
So did you say you've never played Fable 3?
I've never played Fable 3.
So this was like the bastard stepchild of the Fable series, I think, because the first 2 were so well loved.
Yeah.
And then I think 3 came along, and I think it was really like super linear, like really linear. and I don't know, it just didn't seem to resonate with people quite like the first two did. I missed Fable 3. I didn't play Fable 3 either. This is a game that if, like, you cannot play this on the PC anymore because it was through Games for Windows Live, which does a service that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So
didn't transfer over to Steam?
No.
Wow.
It did for a while, and then they pulled it for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah, so again, another argument for fucking physical media.
Yeah.
Another game that, like, if you don't own an Xbox 360 or have access to an Xbox 360, but you do have a PC, you just simply can't play this, without setting sail. And even doing that, which that's what I did to try and get a copy of it, and it was, like, ludicrously difficult to try and figure out a way to actually get a working copy of this game on your PC. So
yeah, and this is in great nick. Even still comes with, well, I'm sure it's absolutely usable.
Yeah.
A bonus content DLC code.
Get on it.
Even comes with. I keep all of mine.
Yeah,
I got so many.
It might come in handy one day
when
they bring them back.
when they bring them back. But I got so many of these with like Batman Arkham City and that. Like I had the Catwoman one and other DLC ones, and I kept them all. They're all still in their cases and everything.
That's all complete. It's all there.
It's all complete.
And
it's
that
all
manual
really
looks,
nick.
And the manual looks
great.
like...
The manual looks untouched,
like
apart from
completely untouched.
The little clamps that are holding it in place. But yeah, the manual looks untouched. Looks great.
It's one I'd like to play. Like our friend G really likes it. I think he said it was his favourite in the series. So yeah, I mean, I'd be keen to give it a go because I loved 2. Like I adored 2. I liked 1 okay, but the problem was I played 1 after 2, and it was difficult going backwards. I think it hadn't aged very well. Number 1 hadn't aged very well at all by the time I got round to playing it, especially having played 2.
But I did play 1 before 2, but then but it was so long before 2 that I almost missed 2.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, I'll grab it and give it a go. Loved 2, a lot more than 1. I
don't mind.
I didn't jump on this when it did come out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I loved number 2.
I don't think it got very well reviewed. I mean, I don't mind a linear game, to be honest. I think it was a bit hack and slashy. Like they took it in, but there was not a lot of depth to the combat, but it was very combat-y. And when you had a linear game that was very combat-y with not very good combat, I think it just suffered in the critical reception. But it's one I'd like to definitely try out one day and see what I think.
And it's even got co-op 2-player.
Yeah.
Co-op 2-player.
Yeah.
I don't even recall 1 or 2 having that.
I think 2 did. It did it in a weird roundabout way, but I think I've got a feeling 2 had some sort of co-op component to it for sure. Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah.
$2, man.
$2.
You can't make it for that.
No.
You can use it as a coaster. You can't buy a coaster for that for $2.
No, you can't, because I did see coasters in the toy store we went to. In the toy store we went to, and they were NES themed coasters, so like they were like cartridges of games.
And they were more than $2.
And they were more than $2.
So if you want coasters, don't buy coasters. Go to your local cashies and pick up a bunch of 360
games.
Pick
up Fable 3. Yep.
I wonder, like, is that disrespectful or like is that cool? Because I feel like it's something that if I actually had a bunch of friends who came over all the time, and we had a need for coasters, that's something I would do. Is just use old game discs,
Old game discs.
That'd be like cool coasters, but I don't know if that's like. If that's like
that's kind of cool.
Using like the Mona Lisa as a doormat or something.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
I never crossed that line.
I've got I actually have SNES themed Super Nintendo game.
Oh yeah, you do.
Covers as coasters. Like there's like Metroid, Zelda. Zelda's my one. No one uses that coaster. No one touches that coaster. But yeah, I couldn't bring myself to use an actual game disc as
I feel a bit weird about it probably. All right, so that was our cashies pickups. We went to another pawn shop as well. Didn't find anything in there. But then we had stopped in on at CEX. On our way to another pawnbroker that we went to check out, and we got. I think I picked up.
I nearly did. I nearly did. I saw a few things that caught my eye, but I didn't pull the trigger on anything.
So I found a couple of things in CEX, which is weird because I've looked in CEX a couple of times. If you've watched my pickups videos before, you would have seen me stop into CEX and gradually get more and more frustrated with the lack of stuff that I wanted and the prices that they wanted for that stuff. And so I'd basically just written it off, and I haven't honestly set foot in CEX now for a couple of months on the game hunt. I was really only going in there to show Scott, because he doesn't have a CEX where he lives.
No, and I thought it was, to be honest, I thought it was beautiful. Magic to the eyes, because I don't have, where I live, all my, like, op shops that sell secondhand stuff, they're all really dinky, they're all really, like, They you know, they're in buildings that are really old, out of date, and none of them have video game stuff. And if they do, they have like one like copy of Wii Fit, and that's it.
Yeah.
And
it's
so
missing the disc.
It's missing a disc. Yeah. It's really rare for them to the op shops near me to have games, and Game Traders, we used to have one. It's long gone. So the only actual sort of secondhand retail that has games in them is our Cash Converse. Our Cash Converse is very small with its selection, and it even has a fair few of the games in there are actually from overseas consoles, like American. So they're not even usable in our PAL consoles. So when I went into CEX, there's this line, this whole aisle of video games, and I'm like, this is brilliant. This is fantastic. Like, I don't get this. I don't get this at home. I miss this. This is like when Game Traders was around, but they had more aisles. But yeah, it's just something I hadn't seen for a very long time. Two aisles full of games. Something I hadn't seen for a very long time in any shop that, you know, wasn't a modern, you know, selling the latest generation of consoles. So I was stoked to
You were like a kid in a candy store. Yeah, I think we spent the most time in there, actually, didn't we, for the day?
And surprisingly, I didn't get anything.
No, but you saw a lot. You picked a lot up.
There was a few things that I really wanted to get, but they were just not. They were in too rough a condition, or I wanted this game, but not on this console.
Or too expensive.
Expensive.
Like CEX is one of those places that know the value of what they have, right? Like, they're a game trading store. That's what they do. You're not very likely to go into CEX and find a bargain. It's more a place that you'll go if you can't find a game. If you looked on eBay, you've looked in secondhand stores, looked on Facebook Marketplace, you can't find this fucking thing anywhere. CEX is that kind of place where maybe they'll have it, and I'll have to pay for it, but maybe they'll actually have what I want. I'm a lot more jaded on CEX than Scott is. I'm not a huge fan, but I did find
it rubs off like the novelty of it.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah. There's not a high turnover in our CEX here either. Like, so you kind of go in and see the same things, you know, over and over again, week to week to week. But I did actually pick up a couple of things this time, which is, again, really surprising to me, having gone in there, like, swung and missed so many times. So the first thing I picked up was a PC game, and that is a hard copy of The Wolf Among Us. So I love this game. I think this is probably Telltale's best game. And I know that's probably a bit of a controversial statement, because The Walking Dead was so well loved and so good, and it was absolutely brilliant. But I think I like The Wolf Among Us a little bit more. If you like Telltale's games and you haven't tried this one, I think that's an absolute must. It sort of takes the sort of fairy tale world of, you know, like the Big Bad Wolf and Little Red Riding Hood and, you know, Hansel and Gretel and all those sort of like characters from fairy tale lore, and puts them together living in a city where the Big Bad Wolf, in this one called Bigby Wolf, is a detective who's trying to solve a murder. And it goes for, I can't remember how many episodes, maybe 6 episodes or so. And I just think it's absolutely great. It's really, really well animated. It's really well voice acted. It's fun to play through. The story branches in different and interesting directions depending on your choices that you make, like all Telltale games, right? Yeah, just a great sort of noir, detective noir, set in this really cool kind of like fairy tale world. And the way that they've reimagined all these characters from fairy tales to put them in this kind of like grimy, gritty kind of city is particularly cool. So yeah, I saw that. This was like $3.50 or something like that. I think like it was a couple of bucks.
Total steal.
Yeah, total steal for something that I really enjoy and I'd love to have on the shelf. So I've never seen it in there before. I've never seen it. I didn't even know this existed in a hard copy. So when I saw it there for a few bucks, I was like, oh, I think I'm going to take that and bring it home. It doesn't have a manual or anything. I don't know if it ever came with a manual. It's literally just a case with a disc in it. But yeah, to have that one on the shelf, I was more than happy to shell out a couple of bucks for it. Definitely. A real surprise to find. The other thing that I picked up while we were in CEX, and again, if you've watched the pickups videos for very long, you'll see me often making fun of the Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate box that they've had in there that I tried to buy off them, but it had a hole punched through the front of the case, and they wanted full price for it. And when I went up and tried to negotiate and say, listen guys, this is damaged, they were like, oh, well, it's only the case that's damaged. I was like, yeah, that's right. I tried to.
It's like, as long as the game still works.
Yeah, right.
like, who gives a crap?
Who gives a shit?
Covered in dirt, shattered to pieces, or what?
I've tried to negotiate with them. They weren't having any bar of it. They were like, nah, that's what it costs. And I was like, okay. And I've repeatedly seen that case still sitting there every time I've gone in there since. And again, I've gone in there less and less frequently, but every time I do, I go straight to the 3DS section just to check if that's still there. It's still sitting there. It was still sitting there on our trip when we went in there.
I got to lay hands on the
famous punctured case of Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. Yep. But beside it this time, sitting there for the exact same price as the damaged case, was a pristine, lovely copy of Monster Hunter Ultimate. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate? Yeah, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. A game that Scott and I actually played together back when it released.
Was that your first Monster Hunter? Because that was certainly my first and only.
No, this was my second. I think Monster Hunter Tri on the Wii was my first Monster Hunter. And then, yeah, we picked this one up. We played it with our buddy Gary, and the three of us co-op this for a good while, I think.
Good while.
Yeah, and it was fucking good fun. Like, co-oping that...
It was good fun.
Was really, really cool. And again, it's not...
It felt like the only way to play, really.
Yeah, I think so.
The only way to play.
It was a lot more fun in co-op than it was single player. I played Monster Hunter Tri single player. I didn't make it terribly far through that game. Liked it, but I had a much more enjoyable experience playing this in co-op with the fellas. And yeah, it was just a super fun game. I still I don't love Monster Hunter as much as I wish I did. It's like my number one game franchise that I wish I loved. I like it. I like everything about it, but I just don't like repetition. I don't like doing grinding. I don't like doing the same thing over and over and over in video games. And obviously, if you've played a Monster Hunter game, you know there's an awful lot of that. I think playing it with friends helped alleviate that a little bit. I remember this one being a little bit less grindy than some of the other ones out there that I have tried. But yeah, just a fun experience. And on Nintendo 3DS, all consoles that you would play co-op over the internet. Yeah. You know, like the 3DS is not the one you think of as the one you go to pick up and play through the campaign co-op online with somebody. So that was just a unique experience. I think it's the only time I've ever done something like that on the 3DS too. So lots of good memories around this one. Yeah, especially of the monster that looked like a penis with wings.
The electric penis.
That's the one. Yeah, the electric penis.
The electric penis monster.
Which, you know, being three immature boys, got lots of comments and jokes made about for a while.
Pardon the pun. I couldn't let that one go.
So that was my pickup for probably one of my best pickups of the week, and I think one I've wanted to put in the collection, one I've been looking for. I haven't found it for a price that I've been happy to pay. But given that they had a fairly decent price at CEX, I just didn't want a damaged copy of the game, and they had this one there undamaged for the same amount. I was happy to pay it.
I didn't think of it at the time, but I wonder if you took that copy to the desk and I took the punctured one.
Yeah, and said,
if
hey,
I could say, hang on, like this guy's getting this same game for $35. Like, come on, knock some off for
they
me.
They would have told you it's only the case.
Yeah.
It's only the case that's damaged, you know. Anyway, there we go. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate on the shelf, finally, after a long search.
From the same
I can put that saga to bed, and I never have to go and look at that punctured Monster Hunter case ever again. I can
but every now and then,
cleanse myself of that.
Every now and then when Jamie goes back and does a video, you'll still see Monster Hunter 4
It'll still be there.
with the puncture there.
It's not going in. No one's fucking paying that much money for that. No way in the world. So then we left CEX and we headed on up to our just a tiny little pawn shop that's around the corner from where that one is. It's loaded with retro gear. I've been in there before. Again, if you watch the pickups and game hunt videos, you've probably seen me filming in there. Lovely guy that works there. He's got a ton of old retro games, consoles behind the counter.
Even figures.
Yep, tons of stuff. And it's all it's all fairly expensive because again, a pawn shop. He knows the value of what he has and he's going to sell it. It's not too badly priced, but you're not going to walk in there and go, "What fucking GoldenEye for $10?" It's not going to happen.
No. He knows what it's worth.
Yeah,
and,
he prices it very reasonably, I think, for what it is. And it's just nice to go and look. I think it's always a good. If I'm out in the area, I'll stop in there just to look at it all because you don't see, especially where I live. You just don't see a big collection of retro gear all together like that you can sort of sift through a little bit.
Yep.
But you did make a purchase in there.
I did make a purchase.
Not a retro purchase.
No, not a retro purchase. I actually.
Although we did spend a long time looking at retro gear.
Did. Yeah.
But it was a non-retro game that ended up coming home with you.
Yes. No, so I'm not a fan of this particular series of game. I've only ever played the 6th entry of this franchise. And didn't really like it and moved it on. Wish I'd kept it, but now when I'm collecting. But I bought this actually for my fiance, who is a bit of a fan. So I bought Tekken 7 on PlayStation 4. So this one, I'm not sure if I bought this for my fiance because she likes Tekken. But I was a bit sort of dubious about the PlayStation VR when I grabbed it, so I'm like sitting on my phone.
Like, is it a VR only
searching.
title?
But it says compatible.
Yeah.
And and I looked it up, and it does say there's some modes or enhancements that come with the VR.
Yeah.
But it's not limited to that. And I was thinking, how shit would that be a main entry in the series if it's gated behind having to have
True, actually,
VR.
not a spin-off, but like an actual main entry.
Actual main entry.
But it wasn't, luckily.
But no, it wasn't. So I sent her a picture of it, told her about it, and she just told me very promptly that she's going to kick my ass. And I have no doubt she will. The disc looks just immaculate. I don't know if it came with a manual or not. Probably not.
PS4
not in this day and age.
I think it's actually a little bit of a middle finger to us of a certain era that they keep putting like the tabs for a manual in the case. They keep making them like as if they could have a manual, but it's like nah.
And it's not just like the little folds. Like this is an intricate looking.
I know,
tab.
right? That is like a proper manual holder.
Yeah. That's an intricate looking tab.
But you ain't getting one.
So no, we're not getting one. But Tekken 7. As I said, I wasn't a fan of the series. It kind of feels like
Tekken fan. Scott, you're a huge fighting game fan. But you're not a big fan of Tekken.
I love my Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Those are peak fighting franchise for me. Tekken, in comparison, felt like all the fighters were wearing Link's iron boots. They were just like very rigid, slow, cumbersome. So Sylvie definitely will kick my ass with that one. And she will love doing it. And I don't think there'll be a fucking thing I can do about it. Like at least with Mortal Kombat, when we first get a Mortal Kombat game, we both give it a bash, and she usually owns me, because I'm trying to like work out the combo. But as soon as I've worked out some combo or something, it's then just I start winning, and then it's no longer fun for her.
Yeah. That's the problem with fighting games, I think.
But
you've got to fight people who are equal footing,
that has always been my trouble.
Up with them.
But she'll crap all over.
She'll get a good run out of this.
She'll get a real good run out of it. And she'll be like, "You want to play Tekken?" I'm like, "No."
Mortal Kombat?
No. Yeah, Mortal Kombat. Street Fighter? I'll play with one hand.
All right.
Yeah.
So that was it for the cash up. Despite us having a good old amount of time in there, we just walked away with the one game.
Oh yeah, $10 by the way.
Yeah, got it for a tenner. Which again, for a PS4, I was saying this at the time, that like it is a fantastic time, I think, to own a PS4 because the consoles themselves are not terribly expensive. It's got a massive fucking library of really quality games, and you can get them cheap now.
Yeah.
The PS5, by comparison, is like there's nothing going on really.
No, no. I've got both a PS4 and PS5, and the difference in the generations really, for me as a casual gamer, just really feels like such a small change. Really, it's like the jump from Wii to Wii U was way bigger than PlayStation 4 to 5. Because like PlayStation 5 plays all the PS4 games. Well, almost, pretty much as far as I think all of them. I think it's backwards compatible with all of them. But with PlayStation 5...
As long as it's got a disc drive.
Yes. You need the disc drive version. But PlayStation 5 just has a horrendously bad battery life with its controllers.
Right.
We are constantly... We literally always have one of our two controllers charging.
Yeah.
And after like 2 or 3 nights of play, it's telling us we need to charge the controller. So then we swap it over. And yeah, we're always doing that. It's got the worst battery life of any console controller ever.
I think for my money,
PS4
second to the Switch, right? Which I think at the moment is the console to own. I think the PS4 is the next one along. Like if you're going to buy a console, if you don't have a console right now and you're looking to pick one up, I think you couldn't go too far wrong with a PS4 right now. Like I said, you can grab one cheap, massive library of games, really good games.
And they're still doing
and they're
releases
cheap to get.
For it, I think.
Oh yeah, every now and then I think
like
some company will release a game for the PS4.
They're still doing. They've still got a They still occupy a section on the shelves in like an EB Games store.
Yeah, just a banger of a console.
Yeah, like a new game will come out and it'll get like its own PS4. Like unless they're really trying to sell the console, like what Marvel's Spider-Man 2 did. They were trying to sell PS5s.
Yeah.
So I was focusing on that.
So there you go. Get yourself a PS4 if you don't have one. They're worth having, I think. Still definitely 100% worth having now more than ever. Way more than when it released. I think now's the time to own a PS4. Alright, so that wrapped up our game hunting. But we had one more just for shits and giggles kind of stop to make. And that was into my local toy world that I have just down the corner, down the road from where I live, just around the corner. Just have a look, right? Like every now and then you walk in there and they just happen to have something that you haven't seen anywhere else because it's a dense store. It's like floor to ceiling shelves, aisle after aisle after aisle of toys. And, you kind of just feel like, I don't know, what's the word? Like, you don't know where to look. Like, it's like almost like too much.
There's too much. It's
they've like
huge shelves
packed that place. It's not a big shop, but it's just chock-a-block full of stuff. So we just went in there just to see if we could find like some old classic collection turtles or
and we did
some transfer. Oh yeah, holy shit! Yeah, they've got the
literally bottom of the floor to the roof.
Turtles with turtles, and still has like so many boxes of those classic collection figures that you cannot find anywhere anymore. That toy shop just is loaded with them. Like they must have bought up. Tons of stock. Yeah,
bulk buy.
They're not
turtles
cheap.
Is never going to go out of style. Sort of thing.
They're not cheap, but they've got them.
They clearly have an understanding of the retro craze that's going on.
They had all the retro. They still had the retro He-Man figures, He-Man Origins figures that are really hard, like getting quite difficult to find now. Transformers, all the whole stick. Again, nothing that we wanted to pick up plenty that we wanted, but nothing that we could afford to pick up at the time. We caught them slipping on a Indiana Jones.
we spent a while debating who should get it, just because
this whip action Indiana Jones that I think they incorrectly marked down to a stupid amount of money.
They had him like there was
$60.
Two of them was like $55, and then one of them had like an incorrect label on it. It was like $15. And we're both trying to egg each other on to see.
Go on, you need him. Go
to the counter and try and get this. And we didn't.
We didn't in the end. No, neither of us wanted an indie that badly.
That particular indie that badly.
No.
Yeah.
You can take a fucking eye out with that thing. That whip, man. That's going to get recalled.
Jamie definitely feels that it's going to get recalled on account of the whip action because some kid's going to be looking right at Indy a bit too close, and he's just
got this long rubber whip, and then when you hit the button on the back, it flicks it. That's going to take a fucking eye out.
Wildly
flicks it. Crazy. But you got something. You did walk out of there with something.
I did get something. And this I've actually been trying to hunt for a month at least. Because so I got young kids and they've started getting into Nerf guns. They're really young, 2 and 3, so some might argue too young. But I think they got sort of into it because I think kids at their daycare must have Nerf guns.
Yeah.
So and my son spotted that I have a Nerf gun collection. And some of mine are modified, so I'm like, no, you're not touching that. You're going to take your sister's eye out. So we bought him a couple of guns and a couple of pistols, just single handheld ones. But because they're young, they're too big for them. So I went hunting for a month down my local area. I've been to 3 department stores where I know that they're located, and all the shelves are bare. But when I went into this toy store, the shelf was full. Just numerous of them. They were charging a little bit more than what my stores were, but I can't find them anywhere. So I ended up picking up myself, well, for my kids, a couple of Nerf.
Hate yourself. Let's be real.
Pistols. They look like little derringers.
Yep.
Like derringer pistols. Yep. Just a single pistol. I think they'll have an easier time holding. They've got a little you pull the bottom of the pistol. Well, where is it there? You pull this lever to prime the barrel to fire the dart. Holds 1 dart at a time. And I figured, this might be cute. They might actually be able to hold these and fire these. I don't think they'll be able to be, strong enough to actually pull the thing themselves.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
How much trouble can they get in with 1 dart?
Yeah.
How much damage can 1 dart cause, Scott? Surely. Stay tuned for Scott's emergency room.
Emergency room broadcast.
Yeah.
But they have fun every now and then. We pull out the Nerf dart. I've got 5 pistols at home. Each just shoot 1 at a time. So what we sort of end up doing is it ends up really being mum versus dad. Through the living room. Mum's usually in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm in the hallway, or vice versa. And so it's mum versus dad with both of the kids running between the two of us, asking us to constantly reload their guns because they've fired it, and then run back to the other one. Yeah, fix it, so I can have another go. And they're loving it. They shoot us in the backside. Shooting mum and dad in the bum's fun. But yeah, we're sort of just occupied with each other. We don't shoot at the kids.
So you've gone about this all wrong. You've bought the single shot. Oh, I've got to reload it every time you do something. You need to pick up that minigun we saw.
Oh,
it's like, here, have fun.
There was a minigun.
That'll keep you occupied for a good long while without having to ever put darts in it.
I do have a couple of belt-fed Vulcans from like over a decade ago that fire have 25 rounds in a belt.
Yeah, right.
So you look like you feel like Stallone from Rambo.
John Matrix.
And I thought of ripping those out for them, but I figured as soon as I bring one of the big guns out, that's all they're going to want.
Yeah, right.
The big guns, and they're too small to be able to use the big guns.
They're too young.
So, but I am very much eager for them to get a bit bigger.
Yep.
So that I can rip out the big ones. And we can have a full-on Nerf war. That'll be fun. That'll be great.
You need to make friends with some kids in the street.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's gonna be great. It's gonna be like 2v2 in the house. It's gonna be brilliant.
Practice for Splinter Cell.
I gotta make up my own little cardboard pillbox. Yeah. stick the mounted tripod mounted gun. Gun in it.
Go the whole.
That's gonna be brilliant.
Nice. So that's it. Yeah. That was all of our pickups from our little sojourn. Did you feel like it was a successful?
That's absolutely a success for me because I don't get anything when I go up shopping.
Yep.
I go and hoping that there will be something. I don't even care if it's what it is, just something, but there never is.
Yep.
It's all just either clothes or old toys,
bric-a-brac,
or bric-a-brac, or like dining sets from the 70s. Yeah. It's never video games when I go up shopping. It's never anything like that. So and the only place that does have it is my cashies, and my cashies are a lot. They're not as liberal with the. They're not as reasonable with the pricing.
Yep.
They charge you full price for a game that's from another country, so you can't even use it on your system. They won't even label it that this is a foreign cartridge.
Yep.
They just leave it there, and I've had to take one back because I didn't think I had to check what region it comes from. But ever since then, I do.
Did you see anything that you regret not picking up?
I think the only regret, and I may send you back.
Oh, really? Okay.
There was a couple actually.
Yeah.
One was from the CEX.
Yeah.
And that was the $3.50 PlayStation 2 remote control.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It had the receiver with it.
Yeah.
So, but at the time I was thinking that'd be a cool thing to have, but that's all I'd have it for, just to have, because I don't use my PlayStation 2 as a DVD player or anything. I'm only playing games in it. But I just kind of feel like that's a cool accessory to have. And for $3.50, I feel like
that's
I
right,
should have pulled the trigger on that.
Yeah. Worst case
The
scenario.
only other thing was when we went to where I got the Tekken. I got the Tekken, which was $10. They had a Unreal Tournament Unreal Tournament 3 on PlayStation 3 for $6. And I feel like I should have grabbed that.
You should have grabbed that as well.
But I'll have a bit of a ponder, and then I may send you in.
Okay.
At another time.
I'm here representing Scott from Sidescrollin.
Yep. And send you in with my $6.
I tell you, when I went to pick up Donkey Kong from Tropical Freeze from EB Games, I called ahead to make sure they had it. But when I called them, I said I was calling on behalf of Dominic from Sidescrollin, and he was,
did you?
Yeah, he was in a rage, and he was being a real diva. And did they have this game? Because I was going to get in real trouble if they didn't have this game. And I was like,
really?
you know what these YouTubers are like? Yeah,
selling
this
it
poor
to
guy on the other end of the phone. It's like, what the fuck?
I don't know who this guy is, but
Love
he
you,
sounds
Dom.
important.
We gotta go. He wouldn't come in with me after that. He wouldn't come into the shop with me.
This is him. This is the guy.
I think I missed out. I was a little bit wounded in CEX when I thought I caught them out with a steelbook of Pokemon Ultra Moon that they had priced as though it only was for just regular Pokemon Moon. So they had a really reasonable, like Pokemon Ultra Moon goes for like $100 on the second-hand market. The steelbook as well. I thought I'd found a real bargain there for what you would normally pay to get regular old Pokemon Moon. But then when I picked it up, I was like, I wonder if someone's traded this in with normal Pokemon Moon in the steelbook for Ultra, and that's why they've got it listed as regular Moon. So I took it up to the counter and asked, and that is exactly what had happened. Someone had traded it in with the wrong game in it. And I was like, oh, no. I just had this feeling like,
it was a hope.
This is too good to be true, Like the price they had on it just was way too good to be true. And I was like, they can't have messed this up that badly, and turns out they didn't. So that was one that I would love to have come home with a copy of Ultra Moon for
and a
very
$60
little
profit.
Yeah, for very
$60
little money, and no, it didn't happen. Couldn't make that one happen, but that's all right. Next time, I'm sure. We were happy with what we got for the day for sure.
Have you
like
had
no question.
any bargains from CEX?
No,
like real bargains.
No, probably the Wolf Among Us was probably the best one I've gotten.
If they're so stingy that they won't mark down a damaged case, I imagine. They're not letting any bargains slip through their fingers.
That's why I thought like this is too good to be true. This can't be right. That this surely is. No. They are actually just had the wrong cartridge traded in, and that's what had happened. So, oh well, that's all right. Next time, it was a net win overall. I think. I think we can agree for sure.
It was totally a net win. For me.
Made it worth the flight, Scott. Is that right?
Yes, it did. made it worth the flight. Yep.
Made it worth the trip up here.
Yep.
All right, that's going to do us from us, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out. I hope that was an enjoyable little look at everything we picked up for the day. But, as always, my name has been Jamie Dean.
And I'm Scott Carroll.
And make sure you keep on side-scrolling. Take it easy. We'll see you next time.